But I just wanted to hop on here, as you know I do, solidarity, Pan-Africanism, and we're going to get into it. Some real important situations have taken place in the last month or so that I know I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. So, you know me with my my Pan-Africanism and being a new African diplomat, man, I got to talk about some international news, which affects the whole African, you know what I'm saying, the whole African culture, the whole African nation, the whole African people, no matter where you are, whether you're on the continent or the diaspora, no matter where you are on this planet Earth, everything, all African affects all Africans globally, period. Don't let the white man detach us. Don't let our enemies detach us. Don't let the Negroes detach us. Everything, all African, affects all Africans globally, no matter how you look at it. Period. Pan-Africanism, man. That's how we're going to liberate ourselves, man. We are our own liberators. What I'm going to talk about today, man, international news, current news. I should have been hopped on here to talk about this because another sad situation has, if I don't know where you are on this planet, if you do not know or haven't heard, there's still a genocide going on inside Nigeria. So I have to talk, when we're dealing with Pan-Africanism and internationalism and international news, I must touch on what affects Africans globally, which is these horrific massacres, these horrific killings that are still taking place on the African continent. These innocent people that are still being murdered in Nigeria. And we just had a recent massacre that took place in Nigeria a week or two ago. It might be 2 weeks now, but a week or two ago that took place in a village in northern Nigeria. Outside or either inside Borno, but the village is called Zambamari. If you never heard of Zambamari, write that down. Zambamari. Another massacre has taken place in Zambamari in northern Nigeria by these jihadist terrorists. If you don't know who these jihadist terrorists is by now, Boko Haram. Boko Haram. And that's what I'm going to touch on a little bit today on why Boko Haram has not been eliminated. Why has Boko Haram have not been eliminated in Nigeria and other parts of Africa? Who are they working for? What's their interest? You feel me? That this group continues to have a lifeline and has a lifeline continuously to murder innocent people. We must touch on this, man. We got to talk about this. Also, I'm going to be talking about Uganda and the repression of Bobby Wine. If you never heard of Bobby Wine, man, if you never heard of Bobby Wine, I suggest you do your homework on Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine was this upcoming artist in Africa. He's a popular brother. But this brother has took his platform, his musical platform, and has used his voice and his platform to bring and shed light on the horrific oppression that's continuing in Uganda. Bobby Wine. Matter of fact, Bobby Wine is running for president in 2021. I suggest you should follow this brother's story because there's some hypocrisy, some repression that's taking place with this great brother. This brother is the next great leader in Africa. Bobby Wine. If you never heard of Bobby Wine, I suggest you do your research on Bobby Wine, man. And black people globally, we need to get behind Bobby Wine. Period. This is a fresh young brother. This brother is only 38 years old. Revolutionary. Revolutionary. Bobby Wine. He kind of reminds me, and I don't want to put this on his plate. I'm not trying to you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to over label him or try to put him in a light or footsteps that he probably cannot live up to, but he's trying to live up to. But the brother Bobby Wine kind of reminds me of the great revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara. This is why you need to follow this brother. This brother got platform all over social media. So I'm going to discuss that a little bit. And also, man, I got to touch on the most recent news that's going on. The police terrorism and the repression and brutal continuation of police terrorism that's going on in Haiti. And the new movement that's starting off now, we need to defund the U.S. support of police terrorism in Haiti. Because right now, what's going on in Haiti is crazy. What's going on in Haiti right now is crazy. And I'm going to speak on that a little bit in a few seconds on what's going on in Haiti. It's very crazy in Haiti right now. And you know, Haiti is our greatest symbolism in the Western Hemisphere of revolutionary nationalism. So we must keep our eye and support our brothers and sisters in Haiti, man. There's some crazy stuff going on in Haiti right now. Trust me. Some very shady, crooked stuff going on in Haiti that the Western Empire and the Western imperialist nations are doing, specifically the United States of America. See, this whole thing is going to tie in. It's going to tie in. I see you, brother, trying to tap into the live. I may let some people come on the live. I may let some BIAFRAs come on the live and talk about what's going on in Zambamari. But, yeah, let me go ahead and hop into it. The massacre of Zambamari, man. Another horrific massacre that has just taken place in northern Nigeria. And the other day, I you know, when I have time, I try to catch some of the lives that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do. But with my schedule, it'd be hard for me to catch his lives. But I finally caught one live that he did December 12th over the weekend. And specifically, he was talking about what was going on, you know what I'm saying, with these last 3 or 4 massacres that took place in Nigeria. The Lekki massacre, the Oyibo massacre, village massacre, and now there's the Zambamari massacre. And matter of fact, I think it's 4 massacres that took place in the recent last couple of weeks and months in Nigeria, northern Nigeria, and other parts of Nigeria. But what I'm saying is that when I caught Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's live the other day, the brother was talking some good stuff that I finally wanted to hear. You see what I'm saying? They also released the article the other day about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking on the EU. The EU, who else was he talking about? The United States of America and the European Union. And in this article, I read this article, he was speaking on some great stuff. And it seems that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu eyes are starting to awaken to what I've been telling y'all all along about Western imperialism and these Western empires. The message is not saying, this is what I'm saying, not saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really trusted the United States of America, or he really trusted the EU, or he really trusted the ICC. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that because I know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a smart leader. He's not a dumb leader. He's very politically educated. And I know in this struggle, I know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is using strategy. I don't go against nobody who uses strategies, because we know when we're dealing with fighting for the liberation of our people and fighting for the liberation of Africa and fighting for the liberation of our people globally, we have to use strategies. You see what I'm saying? We got to use strategies across the board. Nothing is excluded when we're using strategies in warfare to liberate Africans. Everything is in play when it comes to strategy. Some strategies we may not agree with when it comes to certain leaders. But the overall thing is to not get emotional. Don't jump out the window. Don't get emotional when you see certain strategies that these leaders are trying to use that you might not agree with. Because I don't agree with every leader's tactics or strategies myself, because I am my own man. You see what I'm saying? But I will study their strategies and tactics and get the positive out of it. And one of the things, you know, that IPOB and BIAFRAs have been doing over the last decade is trying to implement strategies to get these empires, to get United States of America, the EU, the ICC, the European Union, and all these people to finally, you know what I'm saying, intervene on the terrorism and the oppression that's going on inside Nigeria with this crooked neo-colonialist government of Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria. So we know when it comes to our oppression, no matter where we are, we have to use all strategies and tactics across the board in order to liberate our people. But we overstand overall. A lot of us don't understand that. So they get emotional and start calling out leaders when they don't like what they're doing. Now, I'm not going to follow nobody that's doing stuff repeatedly that I know doesn't work, or they're doing things that benefit them individually, because that's not how I operate. That's how we shouldn't operate as a people, no matter where we are. You feel me? But the one thing I will say about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he stated Saturday was that he made an emphasis. He made a complete emphasis on self-defense. And it really made me happy. It really made me overjoyed when I started to see this brother started to talk about self-defense. Self-defense is a human right. Self-determination is a human right. Period. No matter who you are going up against, no matter who you're going up against, you must always stand on the basis of self-determination and self-defense. Self-determination and self-defense goes together, which what we are defending overall is self-preservation. Right? Self-preservation is what we are defending. You must self-preserve your people. You must self-preserve your nation. So, with that being said, you have to do things. You have to do things by any means necessary to preserve the existence of your people, no matter what you're going up against or who you're going against. Nobody is more mighty than the people. This is the one I'm telling you. Nobody or no government on this planet is more powerful than people power. Period. No government. No government can withstand the people's power. Period. Now, don't get me wrong. In certain instances, yes, we know that these crooked governments have armies, and they have these proxy pawns, like these terrorist groups like Boko Haram, who do the dirty work that benefits these crooked governments. They are an ecosystem of terrorism and hypocrisy. Period. These governments, man. These governments are an ecosystem along with terrorist groups like Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen are a whole ecosystem of hypocrisy. Period. But it's not more powerful than the people. Period. And the element that the people must start to implement and understand, you have the human right to defend yourself. You don't have to sit there and let these people murder you. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Especially you have to fight back because you have to protect these women. You have to protect your women, people. You have to protect your sons and daughters and your own life. Self-defense is a human right under international law, period. So you must come together, people. You must come together and defend your territories. Defend your villages from these animals and devils like Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. So what I seen recently over the last couple of days, I'm starting to see IPOB, the indigenous people of BIAFRA, setting up self-defense movements, self-defense armies, self-defense security in every phase and sector that needs to be defended. That's what you do. You don't wait for the United States of America. You don't wait for the EU. You don't wait for the United Nations. You don't wait for white people. Oh, I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna like that. But the truth is the truth. You don't wait for white people to save your people. Period. You don't wait for white people to save African people. You don't do that. You don't wait for white people to save your daughters. You don't wait for white people to save your mothers. You don't wait for white people to save your elders. You don't wait for white people to save your nation. You save your nation. You protect your land. You protect your nation. You liberate your nation. You free the land. Period. You free the land. And over a week ago, another horrific massacre in Zambamari, where 110 and counting innocent farmers, man, were massacred by Boko Haram. Was massacred by Boko Haram, man. 110 farmers. 110 farmers. Decapitated. Decapitated. Men, women, and children. Decapitated. Horrific. In Zambamari, in northern Nigeria. 110 farmers. Innocent farmers. Cultivating the land. Living off the land. As they do indigenously. Living off the land. But the key and the moral to this story, guess what? That many people ain't even talking about in the Zambamari massacre. The most important lesson from it is that these farmers didn't die easily. They didn't die easily. They caught one of these individuals. They captured one of these individuals that were trying to sneak on their land. That was trying to sneak on their land to cause trouble. And these farmers captured this individual and held him accountable for trying to come on their land and disrupt their way of life and to try to steal their crops, try to steal off their land. Savages. And Boko Haram caught wind of this. And then Boko Haram enters this village and massacres these innocent farmers. But the key to the moral of the lesson was self-defense, people. Self-defense. Because these farmers didn't die easily. They defended themselves. Facts. BIAFRANs, pay attention. These brothers and sisters defended themselves. No matter, in the end, yes, they may have been murdered, massacred, and killed and decapitated, but they got fed up. That's the moral of the story. They got fed up. They got fed up and said no more stealing off our land. No more killing off our land. This is why, people, you might not like it or not, but you have to invest in weapons. You have to invest in weapons. And if you don't like to carry weapons, then you must do what you're seeing being done in BIAFRA right now. You must organize armed self-defense units. What we call here in New Africa, we call it New African Security Forces. You must organize security forces. You must organize self-defense organizations. Period. If you don't want to carry a gun, at least help fund an organization that will set up self-defense security defenses. This is how you stop massacres, people. And New Africans in America should pay attention to what's going on in Biafra land also, on how they're setting up self-defense security forces. It's time to take back your power. You are the power. You are the power. Period. You are the power. If you want to stop the killing, you must stop the killing yourself, people. Biafran lives matter. Yes, they do matter when you start to defend that life. When you start to defend that life. That's when Biafran lives will truly matter. When Biafrans learn to self-defend themselves. Yes, Biafran lives will matter. When you defend your life, defend your children's life, defend your wife's life, defend your father's lives, defend your mother's lives, defend your children's lives. The time is now. Self-defense is the only thing we should be standing on right now. Self-defense. Defend the homeland. Defend the homeland, brothers and sisters. Defend the homeland. Defend the homeland. Defend Biafra land. And if it comes down to it, by any means necessary, our brothers and sisters from America will need to go home and defend the motherland, defend Biafra land. Period. I think it's about that time. Matter of fact, I think it's about that time for brothers and sisters in America to go back home and defend Biafra land and defend these oppressed villages, these oppressed peoples all across Africa. I think it's that time. Imagine that. Imagine brothers and sisters going back home and defending the homeland from these terrorists. Imagine that. Where the true soldiers at? That's some real soldier work. To go back home and defend our ancestral land. Innocent people are dying on our ancestral land. We're dying in America. So we might as well go back to the ancestral land and die for something that's more powerful, where we come from. I know I would. I would rather go back home and die in Africa for freedom and liberation. If they're going to take my life in America, if this white man in America is going to take my life, why don't I go back home and defend my land? My ancestral land. Period. Why not? What we scared of? There's nothing to be scared of. These are our brothers and sisters. This is our land as well. Biafra land is our home. West Africa is our homeland. So why not go home and defend it? Because I don't know about nobody else. I'm tired of seeing my brothers and sisters being murdered in Nigeria, man. I'm tired of seeing my brothers and sisters being murdered in West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. But the one thing I want all y'all to understand is that nobody is coming back to save our people. And the Biafrans are starting to wake up to that. Trump, Biden, the United States, the EU, the United Nations, and even on the homeland, the African Union is not coming back. The African Union ain't even saving our brothers and sisters, man. The African Union is not even saving our brothers and sisters. They ain't doing shit for us in the African diaspora. We're being murdered and genocided in the African diaspora, and the African Union does nothing. So we know they ain't gonna do nothing for our brothers and sisters on the continent. We know this already. Because if they was, Boko Haram would not exist. But now I'm glad to see that a lot of brothers and sisters in Biafra and other places in West Africa are starting to wake up and understand that the United States of America is not your friend. They're not coming back to save you. Trump did not come back to save you. When Trump leave office, you're still gonna die. You're gonna die under Biden. You died under Obama. You was dying under George Bush. You was dying under Bill Clinton. You was dying under Ronald Reagan. You was dying under Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter. You were dying under Robert F. Kennedy. Biafrans, you were dying under you was dying under John F. Kennedy. You've been dying ever since 1967. Count how many U.S. presidents have Biafrans been dying under. You've been dying under at least 8 presidents of the United States of America. And none of them have came home. None of them have went to West Africa to save you. None of them have came to save you. No U.S. president has ever came to save no Africans. Period. The United States will not save Africa. Who saves something that they are exploiting? Who saves something that they are exploiting? They're raping the land. They're raping the people. There's United States bases all over Africa. AFRICOM. Write it down. AFRICOM. There's African bases all over Africa. And these terrorist groups still exist. How does the most powerfulest army in the world, the United States of America, is the most powerfulest army in the world. They have military bases all over Africa. But terrorist groups exist in Africa. Use your mind, brothers and sisters. Use your mind. Use your mind. That means these terrorist groups are being facilitated. These terrorist groups are proxies. They're being used by the United States of America and the European Union and NATO, AFRICOM, CIA to get black people to murder black people and then steal your land, steal your resources. Period. Period. Figure it out. Figure it out. It's very easy to understand what's going on. Biafran death benefits Europe, benefits Britain, benefits the United States of America, benefits Western imperialism, Western capitalism. This is why you're dying. But they use people who look like you to do their dirty work, to kill you. Because it ain't no white man pulling the trigger. It's not a white man pulling the trigger. It's people who look just like me and you that's killing Biafrans every day in Nigeria. Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen are killing people every day in Nigeria, sun up to sun down, and they look just like us. And they look just like us. Period. So the message is clear. The message is clear. We are our own liberators. We are our own liberators. So you must defend your lives. You must defend your lives. Defend your villages. Defend the Biafran nation. Defend West Africa. The only way you're going to free the land is to free yourself. The only way you're going to free the land is for you to free yourself. And it starts with defending your life, because your life, my life, African lives matter. Period. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. And for my brothers and sisters that live here in America, for my brothers and sisters that live here in the United States, or all the brothers and sisters who live outside of Africa, you need a reference point on what's going on in Nigeria. Here's your reference point right here. Please go get this book. There Was a Country, A Personal History of Biafra by the great ancestor, Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe. Go get this book right here. There Was a Country, A Personal History of Biafra. Reference point for anybody that wants to know what's going on in Nigeria. Get this book right here by the great ancestor. The great ancestor, Chinua Achebe. There was a country before Nigeria. Because I hear people all the time, well, what's the fuss about? What is this Biafra thing? Biafra was a country before Nigeria. It's all on the colonial maps. It's on the European maps. It's on the colonialist maps of European Western nations that Biafra was recognized as a nation. This nation was manipulated and it needs to be restored. Over 50-something years of oppression and genocide. And it continues today. There is a nation. It's still a nation. Go get the book. There was a country. So yes, on that note, as I get off that topic, is that one love to BIAFRA. There's a genocide still going on in Nigeria, people. And the Nigerian federal government has to be held accountable. Period. Period. You still got Buhari. Well, if it is Buhari, because I don't know. You still got this Buhari cat walking around here talking about they're smashing Boko Haram. They're destroying Boko Haram. You're not destroying Boko Haram. You're financing Boko Haram. The federal government of Nigeria is financially paying for terrorism and genocide on Biafrans and other Africans in Nigeria, ethnic groups in northern Nigeria who's being massacred as well. Because we can't forget about northern Nigeria. All the black Christians and all the farmers in northern Nigeria that's being killed every day in northern Nigeria. And the federal government is paying for it. The federal government of Nigeria is paying for the genocide of farmers. They're paying Boko Haram. On to the next current news. Like I said earlier in the video, if you're not following who Bobby Wine is, write down his name, Bobiwine. Here goes some more oppression. Here goes some more oppression in the country of Uganda. Uganda people. Listen to what I'm telling you, Uganda people. We are with you. The brothers and sisters in the African diaspora are with you. We see what's going on in Uganda and what's been going on in Uganda for the last 30 years. Under the dictator, Yoweri Museveni, the dictator, a colonialist Negro, a colonialist puppet, Museveni. We see what's going on in Uganda. We see what's going on in Uganda. Bobby Wine is on the rise, people. We must support him. Biafrans, New Africans. We must support Bobby Wine. A young, fresh leader in Africa who's trying to gain the presidential seat in Uganda in 2021. 2021, excuse me. Bobby Wine is running for president to remove the dictator Museveni out of power and his dictatorship out of power in Uganda. Pay attention. In the last couple of weeks, Bobby Wine has been coming across all types of brutal political repression. They arrest this brother. They arrest this brother every other day in Uganda. They arrest Bobby Wine every other week in Uganda because they don't want this young brother to become the president of Uganda, to implement and restore back the dignity of the people of Uganda and to restore democracy in Uganda. So they're coming up with all types of brutal, repressive tactics to keep this brother from winning the presidential seat in Uganda. Keep your eyes on it. Protect this brother. Ride with this brother, Bobby Wine. Ride with this brother. This brother is the real deal in Uganda, man. Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine. There are violent protests that are now going on in Uganda over what's going on and what they're doing to this presidential election. to try to keep this dictator, puppet Negro in power called Museveni. Write it down. This coward has been in power for over 30 years, oppressing his own people of Uganda. Biafrans and Ugandans need to come together. While y'all are on the continent together. See, the key to the power on the continent of Africa is all oppressed people on the continent of Africa unifying. All oppressed people on the continent of Africa must unify. Biafrans should be supporting Bobby Wine's struggle in Uganda. This brother is only 38 years old. Young leadership. This is what's needed all across Africa. This is what's needed all across Africa. Young leadership. The old leadership is sold out. The old leadership is sold out. We cannot trust these old-ass politicians in Africa no more because they have proven they don't have the interests of the people in these countries in Africa. So we can no longer support these old, washed-up, sellout Negro politicians in Africa. We cannot support them no more. No more. Old Africa has to go. Old Africa has to go. It's time for a new Africa, new leadership, young leadership. Bobby Wine, we are with you, brother. Bobby Wine, we are with you, brother. And you will win. And this will be a win for Africa. When this young brother wins the election in 2021, you will start the initiation. You will start to see the new Africa formed in Africa. When this young brother takes power, free the land. Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine is the new era, an evolutionary era of new leadership in Africa. Alongside brother Nnamdi Kanu. Because there's only a few righteous brothers left in Africa who's fighting for the right side of history. See, it's about being on the right side of history. If we're going to help liberate Africa, we have to be on the right side of history, people. If we're going to liberate Africa, man. And once we liberate Africa, then all the Africans in the diaspora will be free. If we liberate Africa, all the Africans in the diaspora will finally be free. So we must get behind brothers like Nnamdi Kanu and Bobby Wine, man. Fresh, new leadership on the continent. The old leadership is done. They're sellouts. They're neo-colonialist niggas that no longer serve the interests of the people. Old Africa is gone. And we want old Africa to be gone. Because old Africa is colonialism. That's the old Africa. These Negroes in Africa have been compromised. These old Negroes in Africa have been compromised. Whether it comes from China, or the European powers, or the Western powers of the United States of America. Africa is in a phase of recolonization. It's in a phase of neocolonialism. And the only way we can combat that is with fresh African leadership. Look up the brother Bobby Wine. Get behind Bobby Wine, man. He's in a repressive situation right now to try to gain the power in Uganda. And like I'm saying, I really don't want to see nothing happen to this brother. This is why I'm putting it out there. This is why I'm telling you about Bobby Wine, because we got to watch this brother's back. Because we already know what they do to fresh leadership in Africa. We know what they do to revolutionary leadership in Africa, and I don't want this brother to become victim of what we already know will take place once this brother try to get power. We don't want to see another Patrice Lumumba. We don't want to see another Thomas Sankara. We don't want to see another, Cabral. Amilcar Cabral, man. We don't want to see no more of that. We don't want to see no more of our great leaders being assassinated. by Western powers, because that's who's facilitating it. So we got to keep our eyes on Bobby Wine, bro. And even Mazinani Kanu, we got to keep our eyes on the brother. Because we don't want to see these brothers fall victim to what we know, what they do to our African leadership when they step to the front and fighting for what's right for black people, no matter where they at on the planet. Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans. Last but not least, before I get off of here, current news also, Haiti, Haiti. The symbolism of black liberation in the Western Hemisphere. The symbolism of revolutionary nationalism in the Western Hemisphere. The country of Haiti, man. And what's going on in Haiti right now? Police terrorism. Police killing our brothers and sisters all through Haiti right now. And guess who's financing it? The United States of America. So there's a new movement that's springing up now calling for the defunding of the United States of America that is sending in agents and military forces into goddamn Haiti to terrorize the citizens of Haiti who are uprising right now. I don't know if you've been, I don't know where none of you people been, but there's been an uprising in Haiti for the last 3 years. But more recent, the last 2 years, the citizens of Haiti want a new government. They're tired of the capitalists. They want the capitalist regime puppets removed. So they have been burning up, tearing up shit all in Haiti the last 2 years. I don't know what planet any of y'all been on. But it's a revolution going on in Haiti right now. And the United States of America are intensifying the insurgency in Haiti to control Haiti and its resources right now, brothers and sisters. The other day, and I'm going to show you this. The other day, I don't know if you can read that, but look at that. That is a U.S. Marine. That is a U.S. Marine. And I want all my Biafran brothers and sisters to pay attention to this also, because this is what's going on in Nigeria also. Y'all wonder where those weapons are coming from, Biafrans? Y'all wonder where those weapons are coming from? They're coming from the United States of America. The United States of America are sending in insurgencies into your countries to bring weapons into your countries to give to the terrorists to kill you. To kill you. This is a new article that was just written. A U.S. Marine just got caught trying to smuggle weapons into Haiti to the Haitian military and to the Haitian government to kill their citizens. Read it. It's right there. I'm going to post this link in the live comment box after I get off of here. A U.S. Marine has officially been caught sneaking in the country of Haiti trying to smuggle weapons into Haiti to give to the Haitian government to kill their citizens. Pay attention. It says, U.S. Marine found guilty. This cat has just been found guilty. U.S. Marine found guilty of smuggling guns to Haiti in purported plot to become president. To become president. You got a U.S. Marine who was sneaking weapons into Haiti so he could become president. This is well-known news. This is official news a couple of weeks ago. I had to bring it to y'all so y'all can understand your reality on what's going on. This same thing is going on in Nigeria and other countries where their citizens are being killed and oppressed. The United States of America sneaking in puppets from the military to throw a coup d'etat, and put in place a puppet. It's right here. Facts. This cat has been found guilty. Found guilty of smuggling guns in Haiti in a purported plot to become president. They just tried to do that in Venezuela. All year. COVID ain't your only enemy right now, people. COVID-19 ain't your only enemy right now. The Western imperialist powers are at work, and they're gonna get busy even more in 2021 under Biden and Kamala Harris, a military dictatorship regime that's coming into office. Africa, get ready. The vaccines are coming. The vaccines are coming. And the puppets are coming. The United States military puppets are coming into your countries 2021, smuggling weapons and trying to overthrow governments and put puppets in place. A cat just got caught in Haiti. Cat just got caught in Haiti trying to bring in weapons and try to overthrow the government to become the president of Haiti. A Negro that looked just like me and you, that works for the United States Marines and the United States government, just tried to overthrow Haiti. Yes, right here. A U.S. Marine accused of traveling from North Carolina to Haiti with guns, ammunition, body armor, was found guilty of weapon smuggling in a federal court Thursday. After a 3-day trial, a jury found Jacques Sebastian Derouzier, 34 years old, guilty of conspiring to illegally export and smuggle firearms and control equipment from the United States of America to Haiti and transporting firearms with no license to the Haitian Army. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of North Carolina says in news release. Derouzier, who previously held a position with the Marine Corps, betrayed his service and the service of the United States Army and Marines to elicit an attempt to smuggle weapons from the United States to Haiti for the purpose of training the Haitian military. Special Agent Charge Sean Devaney says in release. Drourzier's purported plot was to overthrow the Haitian government and to become president of the government of Haiti. How about that? How about that? How about that? So now you know where people like Buhari and them come from. Who, you got to look at the bigger picture, y'all. When you got these dictators that been in office in these countries for 30 years, or these purported switching of governments that happen almost every other year, where you're seeing coup d'etats take place, that is the Western imperialist powers pulling those strings, financing that. America, Britain, the EU. Period. So let's get sharp. Let's get sharp, people. Let's get sharp. Keep your eyes open. 2021. Low and high intensity warfare is about to intensify against all freedom-loving people. High and low intensity warfare is about to intensify on all lovers of freedom 2021. Pay attention. Self-defense is a human right. Self-determination is a human right. I'm going to sign off on that note. Be a loyal enemy. Be a loyal enemy, African people. Because your enemies have more faith in what you can do than what you think you can do. Be a loyal enemy. Free the land by any means necessary. Haki Shakur, a.k.a. E.K. Chukwu. Free the land.